Hello, welcome to this week's Faith-Filled Friday message. Let's see, I don't even know what today is. Welcome to summer schedules, right? Which is exactly what we're talking about. Today is Friday, June 6th, and many of us, if not all of you, are entering into this new sort of season, new rhythm of life when summer comes around. Whether you are a mom or not, summer just brings something different to our routines and our schedules, right? It brings a different vibe to it. It brings, there's more opportunity for vacations. Even if you work full-time and you don't work in the school system, oftentimes you're saving up vacation time so that you can go somewhere with your kids while they're off of school and take family vacations and make those memories and do the water parks and all the things, right? And so regardless of whether you work from home or stay at home mom, or you work out of the house, and if your kids are in school, out of school, summer brings something different. We enter into a different rhythm. We tend to, in many instances, slow down a little bit, which is a great thing, right? That's a great thing. We all need that, and I encourage you to embrace this different pace, especially for those of you that do work in the school system. As a former educator of 19 years, I know what it's like to have that first week of summer vacation or that first couple of days off, and you have been going 1,000 miles an hour for 9 months out of the year, and then all of a sudden it's like a sudden stop, and then 10 miles an hour in many instances. And that is such a hard adjustment, especially when you're used to routine, when you're used to what you do in a day, and like how quote unquote busy you are, determining your own feelings of success, achievement, fulfillment at the end of a day. And so then when you hit these summer days and you have the slower mornings, you don't have as many things on your calendar, you're probably standing around thinking, what do I even do with myself, and not feel lazy or be perceived as lazy. And it's a struggle, right? Because we feel we're so used to going that when we get a moment to rest and stop or to slow way down, it feels wrong. And I want to encourage you, and this is the part of the challenge that I am giving each one of you here today. You all know this is a faith-based space, right? I am a Christian life coach, a spiritual growth mentor, but I'm also just a follower of Jesus who has found through her own transformation and walk with God and deepening that relationship with God and spending daily time here in His Word and in prayer and in my journal and on walk and talks with God and all the different spaces and places at church, Bible study, all the things, right? In that journey for me, in that my own transformation as I have shifted priorities and shifted alignments in my life, I have found more peace. I have found more fulfillment in seasons of rest. When before, for me, that was nearly impossible. And I suspect that's probably where many of you are at right now. You're struggling with a season of rest. You're struggling with the slower pace. And you're just thinking like, what do I do? You feel like you need to go sign up to volunteer for something. You feel like you need to go add appointments to your kids' calendars, play dates. You feel like you need to go like clean the garage, have a garage sale, do all the things, and maybe you do. Maybe this is a time and opportunity for you to get to some of those projects that you didn't have time for when you were working full-time in the school year, and or just navigating kids' schedules during the school year, right? Because even if you aren't working in education, our kids' schedules and needs during the school year are so much more amplified than they are oftentimes during the summertime, right? Even just homework, drop-offs, all the things, activities, and even sports. Many of, I know there's still some sports happening. My own kids are still involved in sports right now, but it's usually 1 to 2 hours within the day versus all day at school and then the sports and activities, right? So now we're much more reduced on what's being put on our time. And I'm trying not to ramble and be all over the place, so stick with me here for just a minute. But my point is to embrace those seasons of rest, and the challenge is to take advantage of this time and of this shift in routines and cycles and your daily schedule to build in, especially spam, build in and prioritize daily time with God. And that doesn't necessarily mean you need a full 30 minutes or a full hour. It doesn't mean you need a study Bible out or a Bible study or devotional or a book to be using. Really lean into wherever you feel God is asking you to meet him. Maybe God's asking you to meet him out on a walk. Maybe God's asking you to meet him in the gym, and just be super intentional about not listening to a podcast during that time, and maybe just putting in your AirPods but having sort of white noise type, like an instrumental music or something along those lines, so that it's just you and God. Worship music also can work great. I love listening to worship music during my workouts. But again, if you're out on a walk or something like that, maybe it's nothing. It's just you and God and this time and the space, the sounds of the birds in the air, the breeze on your face, whatever it is. Maybe God's asking you to meet him in your journal. Maybe God's asking you to meet him right here in his word, and he wants you to be in his word and open up your Bible a little bit more. And again, that doesn't have to be super formal and structured. You don't have to be a Bible scholar to start reading the Bible. And if you don't know where to start, or you're just unsure and don't really feel confident with finding meaning in the words on the pages in the Bible, you're not alone. First of all, we all start there at some point. And I would love to jump just on a quick call with you and just help brainstorm, give you some ideas, point you in a direction of where you could start, potentially even do a little mini study with you, and we can just be in the DMs. You could have me there for accountability to ask questions. We could be sharing verses with each other from the book of the Bible that we decide to start in, whatever it is. And then, many of you are in the Stronger Women's Facebook group, and there is already tools and resources and scriptures for you right there in that space that you could be using. But yeah, I would love to hop on a call with you. These are totally free. This is not a sales pitch. This is not me trying to lead you into one-on-one coaching with me. That's available if that's something you want and are desiring, but don't let that thought keep you from hopping on this 30-minute call with me. This 30-minute call, it's in my bio. Whether you're seeing it on Facebook or Instagram, just head to my bio, click the link there. There is a free 30-minute call available to you, and I would love to just help you create a Bible plan for the summer. Help you to identify where it best fits into your day, into your routine, to prioritize time with God. Because here's the thing, by prioritizing that time with God and accepting this challenge of daily time with God this summer, not only will you completely transform your own life and likely the environment that you are living in your home, just because of the inner peace that you're going to acquire, the confidence you're going to acquire through understanding and knowing the truth of God, in God's word, and hearing God's voice over the voices of the world, which are meant to confuse you, and they're so deceitful, and so many lies are out there, and the truth can only be found right here. And so again, I would love to support you in this journey, in this commitment, if you choose to accept. You can just DM me, call, you can go to the link in my bio and schedule it yourself. If you DM me, I will send you the link to get on my calendar for 30 minutes, and we can figure it out together. Let's come up with a plan, a super specific plan for how you will prioritize time with God this summer, so that you don't go through the seasonal depression that I went through for almost all 19 years in education, so that you don't waste time and energy and emotional capacity feeling like a loser, feeling lazy, feeling like what you're doing is not enough, when really, truly, it's very possible that your mind, body, and spirit is needing rest. And it is absolutely okay to take the naps, to read the books, to lounge by the pool, to go on the coffee chats, to call the friends, to hang out with your kids and watch TV or watch a movie or play some games. And if that's all you do in a day, it's enough. It may not feel like it because the world will tell you it's not, and your past experience working, like I said, at that 1,000-mile-per-hour speed when school was in session, has trained you to make it feel like this slower 10-mile-an-hour pace is not acceptable, and that you need to accelerate a little bit, do more, fill your time, be busier, whatever the thing is. But it's very, very likely that this is a season that you are meant to enter into rest, so that you can be renewed and recharged and refreshed, so that you're ready to go at 1,000 miles per hour again when August comes back around, right? And you may have a spouse that works full-time out of the home and doesn't get time off in the summertime. So maybe you have little feelings of guilt around your current slower pace of life, your ability to enjoy lunches with friends, to go swimming with the kids, to go to the park, to watch the movie, to take the nap. I've been there. Those are not true thoughts or healthy thoughts. Those are lies from Satan that are trying to create division between you and your spouse, that are trying to weasel their way into your heart and mind and force you into busyness just for the sake of being busy, not for true fulfillment and contentment. That is only going to be found in letting God guide you through each day. So that's the invitation, that's the challenge, is partner with God every single day this summer, prioritize that time with Him, and just watch how your life transforms. Experience the peace, experience the confidence, experience the ability to find fulfillment in rest, and even to feel accomplished through rest, because of how much more it increases your capacity to be a wife, be a mom, increases your capacity for patience, increases your capacity for love, for forgiveness, for self-care. All these things. There's so many benefits. I could just keep going and going and going, but I'm going to stop now, and I'm going to leave you with just a verse here from Colossians chapter 3, verse 10, where this is the scriptural foundation for this challenge. It says, "Put on your new nature and be renewed as you learn to know your Creator and become like Him." Put on your new nature and be renewed. Doesn't that sound like such a beautiful invitation? Be renewed as you learn to know your Creator and become like Him. How do you get to know your Creator? How do you get to know God? Through these pages, through time with Him, through conversation with Him, by surrounding yourself with others who are deeply rooted in His Word and have studied His character maybe longer than you have. And then you also start to just become like Him. You become more like Jesus, which is the fruits of the Spirit, right? Love, patience, peace, kindness, gentleness, goodness, faithfulness, self-control, all of these things that equip you to be your best self and equip you to be the best mom, the best wife, the best teacher, the best leader, the best community helper. Again, the list goes on and on and on. But yeah, that's your challenge. If you need help with this challenge, and or you just don't know where to start, because I've referenced being in the Word and the Bible many, many, many times, and I totally get that that is outside the comfort zone for so many of you. And that's okay. That's normal. We all have to start somewhere, and I've got some great tools and resources and suggestions for how to get you started. So let's hop on a call. Let's talk about them and figure out which would be the best option or options for you. All right. So you can DM call or comment, excuse me. You can put in the comments call. You can DM me call. Or you can also just schedule it for yourself. There is a link in my bio to my scheduling calendar, and you hop on that free 30-minute call, and we just figure this out right then and there so that you can be completely transformed this summer. All right. Blessings. Have a beautiful rest of your weekend, and I'll see you next Friday.